At Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, we know pain and injuries can stop you from doing what you love. This is why our board-certified orthopedic specialists offer the latest in both non-surgical and surgical treatment options and create a treatment plan tailored to your unique lifestyle and goals. So, whether it is a sports injury or that nagging pain that's keeping you from doing what you love, our team has the right treatment for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Ex-Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Ex-Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Ex-Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
The Action Sports Jax 24/7 network is streaming. I'm Stuart Weber, and I'm here to teach you a nice three-step process on how you can watch all your favorite programming from the Brent and Austin Show every weekday 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. or the Cup Date with me. It's fantastic. We talk NASCAR. It's a great time. Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. All right, first step, easy. Download the Action News Jax app. You probably already have it downloaded on your phone, so you might already have that one taken care of. Step 2, see that stack of pancakes up there? You click that stack of pancakes, and it's going to bring down step number 3, which is a full screen.
Okay. Hey, we are back here. Terry Norvelle sitting on the patio at Sliders. We're always set up live at Sliders. Our fun Thursday hangout. And, man, this is absolutely perfect weather. Bunch of tables sitting around me on the patio. You can dine inside if you'd like. Certainly the full-service oyster bar. Johnny Pop is serving every type of oyster imaginable. You order it, he'll fry it and serve it. Oysters, seafood, Safe Harbor seafood flying out. Just a good atmosphere. Great time of year. The next 6-7 months are perfect for Sliders Oyster Bar down here in Neptune Beach. Patrick Young is with us. Real quick, wanted to get into the Jaguars, Pat. I don't have the whole list, but just kind of going over some of the players that now are off the Jaguar roster. Some of the noted players. I don't have them all, but you saw where Mac Jones, he signed with the 49ers as a backup.
Yep.
What a shame it didn't work out for him. I don't know if Mac Jones ever gets another crack at starting.
He got a chance. He got a full shot at proving if he's a starter or not.
Yeah, but in terms of he's going to be a backup probably the next 7 or 8 years. He's going to make a lot of money. But what a shame it didn't work out as the backup right here in his hometown. Wouldn't that have been a cool story?
Yeah, that would have been cool to have him here. Absolutely. Yeah. Bowles kid and all that stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. You got to be the backup anyway, probably. Why not be the backup in your hometown instead of the backup to Brock Purdy 3,000 miles away? We know Christian Kirk got traded to Houston. Zay Jones, I think he found a home in Arizona.
Do you still feel like that's crap that we did a deal with Houston for a seventh round pick?
And they're a division foe. A little bit weird. I think they were worried that nobody else was going to knock on the door, maybe, and they said, let's get something that maybe, or nothing, something's better than nothing. Looks like Zay Jones surfaced in Arizona. Evan Ingram goes to the Denver Broncos. Evan Ingram. Mitch Morse, he retired, wink, wink. I think he was told you're going to be cut if you don't retire. So he's out. Brandon Scherf, I don't know if he's been picked up anywhere. I don't know if the Jaguars are – at worst, he'll be picked up here at a very small salary, and he'll be I got to believe he's a backup the rest of his career. Andre Cisco popped up with the Jets. Duvernay, Duvernay, the receiver. I'm not sure if anybody has picked him up. Now, when you get rid of a lot of players like that, and I'm not saying these guys were great players, but you still got to replace those guys with at least guys as good, right? You don't want to go the other
I agree.
way. Yeah. You don't want to go the other way, do you, Pat? Pat, we're starting to see some of the matchups now in March Madness. In the SEC tournament. Ole Miss now, they move on today with a buzzer beater over Arkansas. They move on to the quarterfinals. They'll play the early game. They will host Auburn. I know I've seen them play Auburn one good game. Is this a pretty good time to catch Auburn if you're Ole Miss?
Probably not after they lost on senior night in Auburn. Probably not a good time to catch Auburn.
Maybe not. So
you definitely don't want to. They don't want to end the season like that when they had a chance to beat their rivals twice. Sweep the rivals.
Yeah. So that's your early game tomorrow. Now you still have Tennessee waiting, you have Florida waiting, and you have Alabama waiting for their opponent. Tennessee will be the second game tomorrow. They will face the winner of Texas A&M. Texas needs that game more than A&M.
Oh yeah.
Any feel for that game?
Texas might get in. If Texas, they split this year. I think they split this year. I know Texas won the second game. A&M didn't show up in the second half. Yeah. Texas obviously needs this game more than A&M.
Great.
In terms of making the tournament. I think if Texas wins, I think they're in. They might still get in with the loss, but they definitely need this win. And Wade Taylor IV, he's 1 point away from hitting 2,000, which is pretty cool.
Ooh, that is a lot of points. Boy, don't you know, though, that A&M would love to end Texas's season. Don't you know?
Yes.
They would love to kick them to sleep. Should be a fun game.
Yeah.
That game is has that
rivalry had to be in the SEC. It had to move over here.
Yeah, and that game has tipped off. It's the second game today in Nashville. Texas currently leads by 7, getting late in the first half, 24-17. Also, we've got a barn burner with at the under 8 timeout in the ACC. Wake Forest leads North Carolina by a point. North Carolina needs to win. The winner goes on to play Duke, but North Carolina this would be 2 wins for North Carolina in the tournament. They really need that ball game. All right, Pat, Alabama is holding tight. They will play the winner of tonight's late game, Oklahoma and Kentucky. Before we talk about that matchup and who faces Alabama, was it a case of Mike White doing Mike White things last night? They let one get away last night. Georgia let Oklahoma go on a late 16-point scoring run, and Georgia got knocked out. Georgia, they're in, though, right? The Bulldogs are going to be in.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, they're in. I don't think I have to worry about that, but they definitely dropped one. Oklahoma, I don't think they're that good, but Oklahoma, they love their coach, man. We kept rehashing over and over, we think Porter Moser might be out of there and his style of coaching, et cetera, blah, blah. Man, that dude is so passionate and loves the game so much.
Yeah, doesn't he?
I don't want to say I was surprised, but I definitely, when they beat Texas in the last regular season game, I was definitely like, wow, I wasn't expecting that reaction for these guys.
No, and every time and obviously you remember Porter Moser, I do as well, when he was at Chicago Loyola and made the national news. They had their fun run. Every time I've seen Porter Moser there or now at Oklahoma, I don't know what profession he looks like, but when they show him on the sideline, he doesn't look like a basketball coach to me. And I don't mean that mean.
Really?
I don't know what he just doesn't, I think he's a pretty good coach. He just doesn't look like one to me. He looks like just kind of misplaced. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Okay, and that brings us to tonight's first game of the night session. Mississippi State will take on Missouri. Boy, Missouri has stubbed their toe lately, haven't they? Missouri
quite a bit. Yeah, they didn't finish the season as well as I thought. They lost to Arkansas. They got manhandled by Kentucky. Lost another one. I think they lost at Vanderbilt. Just games. I'm like, gosh, what's going on with these guys? Did they run out of steam? They have a really good team. They have a really good team.
They're athletic.
I don't know if it was the matchup. Yeah, Caleb Grill, who comes off the bench, 6th man of the year, and then I really like Mark Mitchell, the big guy. I think he's one of the best in this league. See what happens, what he does next year, because if he comes back, I think he's going to be my pick for, if you have a big man of the year kind of pick, because he's that good. But
he came from Duke.
Came from Duke. Came from Duke. Yep.
So tonight
they could use him. They could use him right now.
Yeah. They could in Durham, definitely, or with Duke. So tonight's early game in the night session. That'll be a 7 o'clock tip, and it should tip off right at 7 because it's not being pushed by another game. Gator Nation wants to pay attention. Mississippi State, as we said, they will now take on Missouri. Winner gets Florida tomorrow, Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern.
They beat LSU pretty good. Mississippi State. They kicked their butts.
In that matchup, not that Florida fears anybody, but you would prefer Mississippi State, probably, right?
Probably, yeah.
I think Missouri's
Mississippi State just doesn't have. They don't have enough horses to keep up with Florida. They don't have enough depth, and then Hubbard's their only like go-to guy, and he's not going to be able to withstand for 40 minutes all the Florida guards. They're all going to get up in him.
You would think. And when you look at Mississippi State, I think I've got this right for following them the last few years, especially this year. If Florida was to play Mississippi State tomorrow, if State got by Missouri, I think that'd be a benefit to Florida because I think on any night, Florida could go score 72, 73, 74. I think it's a chore for Mississippi State to get in the 70s. They're a high 50s, 60s kind of team, right?
Yeah. They're I think because they're a team that they like to get on the glass. And it's funny, Coach Jans, he knows those guys, like his first few years that they struggled scoring. Offense was going to be a difficulty, but this is probably one of the better teams he's had.
Yeah.
If Keyshawn Murphy was just a little bit better, or they still had Tolu Smith, man, they'd be a danger. He was tough.
He was a good college basketball big man, wasn't he? Really good.
Yeah, I hope he's in the NBA. Or I hope he's making money somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully, and I would think he is. I would think though that Florida's got a pretty good spot to be in right now. I think they can just, and I don't want this to sound stupid, but I think Florida can just outscore Mississippi State even on a bad night. I don't know if State can score, and I'm in your camp. I think Missouri's good. I like their roster. I think they're athletic. They've got size. That I just can't see if Missouri wins tonight and they play Florida tomorrow. I don't think Missouri can shoot. Remember, they shot the lights out in Gainesville. I mean, it was eerie. Everything they threw up went in. I just don't think that happened.
I know, right? Everything, it was like before Florida could even like figure out how to stop it. Like it was just a barrage. I think Georgia did the same thing to Florida when Florida went to Georgia. It was just a barrage of shots they wouldn't miss, and Florida eventually did obviously come back in both of those games. But it's just so hard when you have such a steep hill to climb, and that clock is not on your side when you're down. It is never on your side.
And Pat, all the games you've got on your odometer, there's just some games where the other guy's going to shoot lights out, man. Sometimes you just got to try and weather it, And Missouri, I didn't know who Grill was. Caleb Grill, until that night in Gainesville. He shot it unreal. And, Florida caught in their losses. I think this is a compliment to the Gators. You tell me. In Florida's losses, it's taken teams to shoot. I don't mean shoot good. Kentucky shot the lights out early January. I mean, they in Lexington. Remember when they beat Florida, the opening game of the conference play? It took Kentucky shooting ungodly. It took Missouri shooting I just don't know if it only takes one night. I get it in March Madness, but my God, I can't imagine Missouri shooting it like they did the other game against Florida. Can you?
I could, yeah. I can't imagine them doing that again. I don't think most of these teams are so good at home, right?
Boy,
This
ACC game.
That doesn't normally travel. Is it a barn burner, as you said?
Yeah, it's under 7 now. 54-53 up. 55-54 Wake, and I think North Carolina needs this game. Winner gets Duke, as I said, and then tracking the SEC game, closing in on the first half. 3 minutes left, basically. Texas still leads Texas A&M 26-20, and you absolutely know that A&M would love to go ahead and kick Texas to sleep. Pat, what a fun time of year. I love the fact when the players overlaps college basketball postseason. Good.
You
good
do?
time.
You like that?
I do. Do you? I love it, man. You got a lot of stuff going on right now.
It's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, that's why. I'm making my way out to the players on Saturday.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. That's the only day I can make it. It's gonna be a lot, but I don't know. We'll see, man. I much rather, can't lie, wouldn't mind being like watching some ball. It's gonna be a lot of good ball on Saturday too.
There will be, and there are a lot of TV. You can follow ball out there too.
They'll have TVs. You're right.
Yeah, you'll follow it, and I'm glad you're going Saturday. I think Sunday is going to be the only bad day. Sunday, I think it looks like the second half of Sunday. It's going to be tough on those players. There's going to be some bad weather, some windy, rainy stuff Sunday afternoon. So I'm glad you're going Saturday, Patrick.
Same.
Definitely glad. Hey, I want to pay tribute to a couple of guys, a couple of sports journalists. We lost one, and you may know this guy. We lost today. It was announced that John Feinstein, a longtime Washington Post sports writer. He wrote 48 books. He was a longtime columnist. He had two of his books were really, really well known. He wrote a book called Season on the Brink. He followed Bobby Knight and Indiana around one entire year. He had full access, and it was, I think you read it, didn't you, Pat? I think you were telling us you read Season on the Brink.
Yes, oh my gosh, what a book.
Yeah, Pat, and we're losing Pat again in a bad area, but Pat read that, and there you go, you're back. And he also wrote, among his 48, his probably other book that was, he had a bunch of New York bestsellers. He had a lot of good books. His two that he's really known for, Season on the Brink, the Chronicle book of Bobby Knight, and A Season with the Indiana Hoosiers. You read
He died? John Feinstein died?
69 years old, yeah. And
man.
He also had a book, very, very well received. It was a golf book. It was talking about the game of golf, and that was one of his passions as well. He was a college basketball passionate writer and golf. He wrote a book called Good Walk Spoiled, which, that's a metaphor in the golf world. People say, well, hey, what a great walk. Well, he said, yeah, golf is a good walk spoiled because golf is such a frustrating game, or can be. And, he passed away, one of the great writers. And then today it was announced Dennis Dodd, a longtime CBS Sports college football writer, he announced he's walking away after 27 years. He made it sound like he may not be done, but it looks like he's backing off. Dennis Dodd is a real good name in college football, particularly journalism. So I wanted to get those out. What'd you think of that book, Season on the Brink?
It was really well written, very accurate. A little scary. A lot of the true things that were going a little worrisome. That I think Bob Knight had a little bit of a mental disorder. I without a doubt, he had some type of hormone imbalance or something. Especially since he could not let go of, like, he was the grudge holder, man.
Yeah.
I compared him to, I don't think, and this is just what I've observed. I'm not into politics like crazy, but during Trump's first presidency, he just chased after rabbits.
Yeah.
After Bundy. So many things that were just like, that's below the presidency. You shouldn't waste your time on that. And that's the exact same way Bob Knight was.
Yeah.
Like, that thing shouldn't concern you. And he just, oh man, it was something that happened in Puerto Rico or Costa Rica where he took his players and just would not let it go.
Yeah.
Like the side of the police or what, like, they apologized for a misunderstanding and everything and tried to reconcile, and he just would not let it. He would not forgive.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You've seen the clip. He threw the chair during a game with Purdue, threw a chair across the court. Oh, yeah, come on, Bob. You can't do that. He the Neil Reed situation where he got physical, at least with a couple of players on the sideline, including one guy, Neil Reed, in practice. I'm with you, man. And I saw it all. I'm older than you, Pat. I saw it all. He was a brilliant basketball coach. I mean, he really knew the game. He was one of those guys that could win you a game on the sideline. But man, he was one of those people you never knew what was going to set him off. You just never knew. You're on the edge, if you're around this guy. Just a really, really hot head. And I'm with you. I'm no psychiatrist, but man, it seemed like that guy had something not hooked up properly. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pat, let me ask you.
Honestly, hey,
Pat, let me ask you.
honestly, hey, who is our current Bobby Knight in college basketball?
Who's that?
Make a guess. Take a guess.
Who's the wacko in college basketball?
Yep.
Help me out here.
I can't believe. I don't know why you're drawing a blank. You should know this like instantly.
Bruce Pearl. No, he's not a wacko.
No.
Help me, Pat. I'm drawing a blank.
They coming off back-to-back championships here.
Oh my, Hurley. Yeah, you're right.
He's nuts.
You know the reason I didn't think of him immediately? His team hasn't been in the news much because they're not as good as they. Yeah,
you're right. That's a good point.
It's
crazy, man. They still got so much. Like they lost 3 straight unranked games, go back down to like number 25, climb their way back into the rankings after some league wins, and then they just fall off the face of the earth again.
Wow.
Like Creighton's beat them a few times. St. John's kicked their butts.
Yeah. Pat, let me get back real quick to the book. What made you pick up Season on the Brink? What made you say, I'm going to read this book?
Our researcher at the SEC network, I don't remember how the conversation came up about Bob Knight, but he was like, PY, you got to read that book, PY. It's crazy. And I bought it and it got delivered and I started reading. I was like, just after reading a few chapters, I was like, Jay Stu, the researcher Jonathan Stewart. I said, Jay Stu, what in the heck?
Yeah.
How was this man allowed to coach young men? Terry,
wow.
Some of the things that he said in the book and what he would say to his players are beyond the line of crossing.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, all right, don't cross this line, and Bob Knight comes to the line and he walks back to catch momentum, and he did a long jump as far as he could. Like, that's what I think about your line, damn it.
You shut your filthy mouth. But, the thing about that book, even though it was written in the 90s, John Feinstein, as we talked about, died at the age of 69. That's why we're talking about this. He was such an accomplished writer that when they get that accomplished, he wasn't making stuff up. If it was in that book, and he got full access. I'm not so sure why Bobby Knight gave him full access, but so you knew a seasoned writer wasn't making stuff up just to sell books. If it was quoted that you read it.
Oh, and apparently, Bob Knight, I think he regretted the book being written. I'm pretty sure and in the 25-year anniversary or whatever the book was, that's the version I got. In that new intro that he wrote, John Feinstein talked about how there is so much bad language and cursing that the book would have never ended if he put it all in. Yeah.
If I remember, I'm trying to go back when it happened. I think because to answer my own question, why would Bobby Knight allow that much access? He knew there had to be some warts in the book if he gave all that access. If I remember right, I think Knight's motivation was, let me get this big-time sports writer. Let him write a book, and it'll shed me in a different light. I think he thought that was what's going to happen.
Yeah, but maybe he did, but like, I'm not one to like. I don't use this word often because I think it gets misused sometimes. But he was a misogynist, without a doubt, with 1,000%. Just really some things that he would say, like in the book, is in the book. This is not my opinion. This is like. By definition, and how he treated the women that sometimes were around, that is not how you talk to anybody.
No.
Like my mother, if I talk to a woman like that, my mother would want to disown me.
Absolutely.
As she should.
He was a real strange bird. All right, Pat, let's keep it here till the top of the hour at least.
All right.
I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask Zach. We're going to get off a little bit here. Do you guys want to talk about the next couple minutes? I got 2 more topics I want to throw out. I got a bunch more topics. Do you want to talk about a multi home run college baseball game? Or do you want to talk about my possible answer to a problem in the sports world that AI may help? AI may be the answer.
I'm more interested in that one.
Okay. I just having a little fun this morning putting the show together. And I'm kidding around a little bit, but here's a problem sports has. the field storming, right? College football,
Yes.
Vanderbilt, everybody stormed the field in football. Well, it hasn't, even though they put a big fine, it hasn't slowed down basketball, right? We got court stormings every other day, right? Court storming, field stormings. We've got an epidemic. You know what else we have an epidemic of the last couple of years? Flag planting. Flag, they take the flag and they put it. Florida State got into it. Ohio State, Michigan, flag planting. Is there an answer? Is there something we could do with AI? And
what do you mean?
Instead of, hey, somebody, it's understood when Florida beats Florida State, instead of planting the flag, do it AI-like, right? AI is so normal. You could make it look like it's real out there, right? Why not?
You can.
Why not let that be your celebration? Man, I can't wait to see the AI.
I like that meta commercial where the guy's at the laundromat and puts on his VR goggles and he's courtside watching the game with his VR goggles on, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think I don't know how you replicate that in a fan court storming.
Yeah.
Because that's it. The thing about the court storming is that you're like, it's a rave, like you're close together, you're sweating on everyone. Like that's you can't
it's mob mentality.
Recreate that.
It's mob mentality. It really is. You get all
excited.
Absolutely. Mob mentality. You run into a couple people. You're walking the wrong direction, and you're asking people, "Where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing?" Oh man, there's a big protest up there at the corner. We're heading. What are y'all protesting? I don't know, but I'm gonna do it. Right? It's like I don't know what we're protesting, but everybody's doing it, so I'm gonna do it. And
I'm gonna do it too.
I'm just
mob mentality.
The AI, but wouldn't that be a way to? Hey man, don't storm the field. If we win, we're gonna have our AI people give you a storming. Right?
Yeah.
We're gonna put it. I don't know. Just having fun. All right, guys. Let's talk a little baseball. And Zach Rothrock, your South Carolina Gamecock baseball team will make it into this story. So I need to hear from you. I think it was yesterday, guys. College baseball game. University of Kansas is playing the University of Minnesota in a college baseball game. Not only did Kansas win the game 29-1, the game was played in Minnesota Vikings Stadium. I guess they reconfigured it for baseball. Okay, you guys with me so far? So Kansas,
I'm with you.
Kansas wins the college baseball game the other day, 29-1. Patrick, Kansas hit back to back to back to back to back home runs. 5 in a row. 5 batters, 5 straight home runs. How does that happen? 5. I mean, back to back's cool. Back to back to back is cool, but rare. They went 2 more than that. 5. Anybody? Zach?
Yes, I'm here.
Patrick, 5 in a row. How does that happen?
No idea.
5 in a row. Now, Zach, if you're there, you may say, well, Terry, why did you mention South Carolina? The last time that happened in college baseball was way back in 2006. South Carolina hit
5 home runs in a row
against Georgia. Not like it was against some bad team.
Dude, that's so crazy.
How does that happen?
Like it's so rare for it to ever be back to back, let alone like that's so crazy. That's so crazy.
It is 5 in a row.
There's a lot of things you see happen in baseball, and that is a rare one. That's a first for me hearing that for sure.
I got another good baseball story we're going to get to. And Patrick, Zach, we're going to take a little bit of an early break here. We're wrapping up hour number 1. I know our golf talk is centered around the players, which is going on right now. Lucas Glover in the clubhouse leading at 66. Stick around. Patrick, if you can stick around, I've got a naked golf story. Anybody?
I was excited for a second, and then I'm like,
Anybody excited and want to talk about naked golf? Have you ever heard of such a thing? Naked.
I have not.
Y'all can have the players. I'm gonna tell you a little story about naked golf. You ready? You guys ready for that next break?
I guess so. What a team. I don't know if I'm ready for it or not.
Stick around, Pat. You don't want to miss it.
I don't know. I'll stick around though, but I'm here for it.
One more segment with Patrick Young. We're wrapping up hour number one. Fun, beautiful Thursday. Live on the patio at Sliders Oyster Bar featuring Safe Harbor Seafood. Back after this quick timeout.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Ex-Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Ex-Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Ex-Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Okay, I want to catch people up. Lucas Glover leading at the Players' Championship. First round's probably about 3/4 of the way through. Glover played earlier today. He's in the clubhouse, Pat, with a 66, so he's in the lead. Now, there are 4 golfers that are also in the clubhouse with 68, so they're within striking distance. There are 2 guys on the course right now, Lee and also a guy, last name Phillips. They're both 5 under through 13, so they could go lower, or they could drop back. So Lucas Glover with the round of the day so far. at the players. Wanted to get that out, Pat. Let me catch people up on some basketball. It looks like North Carolina will win their second game in a row now in the tournament, ACC tournament. Carolina leading with 16 seconds to go. Carolina 66, Wake Forest 59. That probably, Patrick, gets North Carolina in the tournament. They will, if they hold on.
I don't know, man. They might. I think they need one more win.
Well, they got Duke next. But
that'll
nice
definitely get them in the tournament
if they get a win. But they'll have a chance. The winner of this game, North Carolina Wake Forest, gets Duke tomorrow. Duke, of course, a couple of injuries, including Cooper Flagg. We're not so sure how serious. SEC tournament game, second game of the day. Ole Miss won earlier. They beat Arkansas on a buzzer beater, 83-80. And Texas at the half currently leads Texas A&M 33-27. Winner will face Tennessee. All right, guys, I know we're talking a lot of golf here, the traditional golf. Found this story this morning. I didn't know there was such a thing, but there is
Was it on your weird sports website?
I think so. That I never will tell anybody where that is at, okay? Don't tell everybody. Right. My secret. I'm not agreeing to that. Yeah, great. There is actually a nudist colony in France, just outside of Bordeaux, France, an area called Les Genêts in France, nudist colony that has a exclusive, hotel. It's a colony, right? They are the home of the only nude golf course in the world, guys. In the world. And yeah, you could go play golf, and it's up to you. And if the weather isn't so great, you don't have to be nude, but it's a nude golf course, guys. What do you think of that? What the hell?
Cart girl.
Are there like physical restrictions on who's allowed to be nude and who's not?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because the article, number one, it's a 6-hole, insert joke wherever you want. It's a 6-hole course. It's part of a resort community, right? And Zach, I'm glad you said that. The article says you can't just roll up there and say, "Hey, here's my green fee. and start taking your clothes off," right? You can only play the course if you're staying at the colony. You with me? So we can't just go, "Hey, let's play some naked golf and go pay our green fee." And I'm sure.
So you got to be involved in the weird.
Yes.
Naked.
Sounds like it.
Resort area.
Yeah.
You got to be involved in that too.
So I'm sure there's a premium on that, but it says, and they only do it for like 7 months out of the year, I guess, because of the winter time, maybe. And again, if you're wanting to go play some naked golf and it's a little cool, you have the right to put on clothes, right? You don't have, but why go to a naked golf course and play with clothes on? Right?
Exactly. If you've already signed up that you're going to be there, like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, you can't be shy. You got to go all in.
You can only play there if you stay at the Holiday Park. It's a 6-hole golf course, and again, insert your joke right there anywhere you want. And it's
Which
open.
hole?
Yeah, it's open. It's open March through September. But I don't have any more. I don't know, dude. There's some grossness about this. Number one, do you ride in a golf cart, and do you want to? I don't know if I want to sit on a golf cart naked if everybody's already been. I don't know.
Everybody's butt juices are. Definitely need a towel. Need a towel to sit on.
I will tell you this. I have no interest. And then the act of watching somebody hit a golf ball naked doesn't do anything for me. Sorry, man. we got a nude golf story going on here. That doesn't do a whole lot for me. What about you, Patrick? I mean,
I mean, it's not in my. I think everyone might have like a little fantasy or of something that it's never been something I've thought of, but it might be a new thing.
See, remember this. I've never been to a nudist colony in my life. We'll probably never go. But I think a lot of times when you hear nudist colony or nude beach or nude golfing, I think we all conjure up in our mind pretty people. I don't think there's not going to be a bunch of supermodels at this thing, right? There's going to be a lot of Hanks and Barbaras and right, just people you don't want to see naked. I think, right?
It's gonna be. Hey, if you're signing up, you know that. So that's on you. You've put yourself where you're seeing. I don't think France is as high up on the obesity chart as like the U.S. is, but you have to imagine that not everybody's fit, not everybody's in shape.
Yeah.
It's okay. That's okay.
One of the characteristics of the French people, they're not the most hygienic, if you know.
Hygienic, yeah.
Right? You've been over there.
Oh man, dang it! Now that makes me not like this even more.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about hair.
And it also, Patrick, when I was reading the story and prepping it for the show, it got me to think back because everything goes back to a Seinfeld episode. Well, Jerry had a girlfriend in one episode that around his apartment, she liked it to be naked. She just right. And Jerry was kind of creeped out about it. He goes, nudity has its place, but I don't want my girlfriend cooking naked or fixing stuff, right? So when Elaine on Seinfeld, when Elaine found out about it, she was like, she wants you to go naked. Elaine said, well, wait a minute. There is something beautiful about the female body, but Elaine said, the male body naked, it's kind of like a Jeep, right? The male body isn't the most, right? It's just it looks like a Jeep kind of, she said. Patrick, right?
I don't know what to say. That's hilarious. That's really funny.
Zach Rothrock, you've been awful quiet during this story, and I think didn't you go to like 2 weeks ago? Didn't you have a vacation in France?
That is
Zach,
not a thing that happened.
Anything you need to tell us, Zach?
I don't think so. That is
Zach,
not a thing that happened.
You've been awful quiet, though, Zach. Have you ever been to a nudist colony?
Well, some people have to put out the fires with the technical difficulties, so I was trying to tend to that. But no, I've not been to a nudist colony. Are there like ones that are 95% female? Is that like a thing? That's kind of what I was getting at with the restrictions. I was like, is there a weight limit? Is that bad? Is that fat shaming? Am I allowed to ask that? I don't really know.
It is fat shaming, but I don't think there is. See, that's the problem.
I'm overweight, so I think I'm allowed to do that.
I think we all think if somebody said, I'll be serious for a minute. I think this is where we get mixed up with nudists and nudist colonies. Okay. Like I'm sitting here at Sliders. I am what? I'm 300 yards as the crow flies from the beach. Okay. If somebody said, hey, Terry, there's a nude beach down the way, I think in our mind, we would all go, oh, dude, sweet. Let's go down there. Man, see some pretty nude, right? The problem is, I don't think a bunch of supermodels would be hanging out. There's just going to be a bunch of people that you go, I don't like the way they look in clothes, much less out of clothes, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair prediction, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the kind of the. Well, here's the thing: if you don't go to the,
it's got to be so creepy for a woman to. That's got to be so creepy.
Yeah, but if you don't go to the nudist beach, there's a 0% chance you'll see an attractive lady naked. Whereas if you go to the nudist beach, there is a greater than non-zero chance.
I get that also, but you do know the medical term, and it's real. Some things you cannot unsee. Okay, right? Once you see them, you cannot unsee them. That would.
You're trying to talk about trauma right now. You're trying to talk about some trauma.
Trauma. Yeah.
You'd be amazed at how good I am at blocking things out that I want to forget about.
Zach, I didn't hear any comment from you about Kansas hit 5 home runs back to back.
Yeah, that was when I was in the peak of my fire putting out. But yeah, that's crazy. 5 back to back, like the statistical anomaly. I actually looked up what the most is in a major league game, and the most that's ever happened in one inning in a major league game is 4. It's never gotten to 5, but they've done 4 11 different times. So for whatever reason, the 5th is just escaping. They can never get to 5.
Well, I didn't. Did you hear the addendum I threw? The previous time Kansas did it against Minnesota this year, the other day, 5 home runs in a row, back to back. The last time it happened in college baseball was 2006. South Carolina hit 5 in a row against Georgia. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that. That was Ray Tanner's Cox before the back-to-back in the Garnet and Black run. So that's good. I'm not. I mean, I really thought they were going to be like the Alabama of baseball back in those days. It never really turned into fruition. But I really thought that was going to happen.
They won 2 in a row, man. That's hard.
2 in a row was good. 2 in a row was good.
Two in a row was
especially when you beat a really good Florida team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of those years they knocked out Florida in the finals, right?
Yeah, Florida had like 10 pros on that team. They had 10 guys that got drafted.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, was it right after he won the second one? Tanner bumped up to the AD. So
yeah, he became the AD.
That would have been like Saban retiring after his second. You know. He
yeah.
kept going, though.
And it feels like the baseball program. I'm not going to say they plummeted. They're definitely solid, but they have not been up to the same level as they were when he was the coach of the baseball team.
Yeah. Definitely. I got a great baseball story coming up, Pat. I think looks like you're eating. We'll let you go if you want, as we're in the second hour. Pat, good stuff. We'll get together tomorrow. Man, a lot of basketball tomorrow. Gators
can't wait to watch.
And then going into the week, I cannot wait for Sunday, Pat. I love Selection Sunday, don't you? Just love it.
I do. I just wish I wish most conference tournaments ended on Saturday instead of Sunday.
And the SEC, I think, makes an error not doing it Tuesday through Saturday. I'm with you. I'm with you. Hey, let's make sure we touch base a little bit tomorrow. Big basketball day tomorrow night, going into Saturday, and then of course March Madness Selection Sunday is a lot of fun. Pat, good stuff, my man. Enjoy the rest of your meal, and we'll talk soon, buddy. Be careful.
Thank you. I'll catch you later.
That is our buddy Patrick Young. We'll keep it here for a moment, Zach. I got another story here, baseball story. You like to hear it?
Yeah, let's go for it.
You ready?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're ready? All right, so we're in spring training. I ran across this morning. I thought it was pretty cool. We're in spring training season, and there are really two locations. Arizona, they call that the Cactus League, where the teams train in Arizona, right? And Florida.
Yeah.
Got a bunch of teams here in Florida, and they called it the Grapefruit League. Obviously, indigenous to Florida, grapefruit. Indigenous to Arizona, So I'm reading this story, and I think I found out how did it get this may be how it got the name Grapefruit way back. And I thought this was pretty funny, as long as I wasn't involved. So we go back, Zach, to the year 1908.
I remember that year.
A spring training game in Florida. And you have a manager by the name of, what's his name here? I've got it. Brooklyn's manager was named Wilbert Robinson. Okay, so far so good. Everything's going fine. Spring training, 1908, Wilbert Robinson has a player on his team by the name of Casey Stengel, who became a great manager when his playing days were over. And I guess maybe they're bored a little bit. Spring training could get a little laborious maybe. So the story goes that Stengel said, hey, I got an idea. Why don't we get an airplane, a pilot, to get a plane and fly over our ballpark and drop a baseball a la David Letterman dropping stuff out of his window. Remember he used to do that on his show?
Oh, yeah.
Let's have an airplane, kind of a stunt. It's spring training. We're all bored. Let's stir up some news. And this is Casey Stengel. He says, drop a baseball from the airplane and you catch it, Mr. Manager. That'd be kind of a neat. And they had already done something like that years before off the Washington Monument. Somebody had dropped a baseball, and it was kind of it's kind of neat. Can you catch it? Drop from way up there.
Yeah.
So they set it up, right? They get this pilot, and they put a guy in the plane, and so they get up there, and as they're ready to launch, right? The story goes, Casey Stengel played a prank on the manager, and instead of pitching a baseball out, he pitched a grapefruit out.
Oh, well. And henceforth the Grapefruit League.
And
I think it killed somebody from up there.
As you can imagine, you start, I guess you look way up several thousand feet in the air, and there's the plane, and all of a sudden you see a little object. Okay, there's the ball, and you got your head up here. And the word is, the story goes, as you would imagine, that grapefruit took a splash when it hit the manager.
Yeah, I'm going to imagine it didn't stay in one piece.
How about that? So that's kind of where the Grapefruit League may have started, got named. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, the question that I have to ask is, did they do the same thing in Arizona with a cactus?
I don't know that part.
That'd be
Great
tough.
question. And did they do it at a nudist comedy?
Oh, God, I hope not.
I hope not. Are you old enough to remember one of the?
That'd be more than
the
Little Prick, huh?
No, yes, exactly. Are you old enough to remember one of the long-standing shticks on the David Letterman show? Obviously, late night show. He about once a week he would, and he did his show in the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York when he was in New York, famous. He would go up on the roof, and they'd have cameras outside and all. He'd go up on the roof and just throw different objects and watch them smash.
Oh my God!
He'd throw watermelons and eggs and sacks of flour.
Right. I think if I did that, it'd be a felony.
You too young for that?
Yeah, I think that's a bit before my era. I do remember Letterman. I don't know if they still did that when I saw it.
Yeah, it was a funny bit though, because I mean he would throw food, TVs.
I see disco ball.
Say that again.
He threw a disco ball off of it as one of the
disco
things.
ball. Yeah. The best thing he would throw like watermelons, and you'd see a watermelon from like 5 stories up just smash. And
yeah,
why that was entertaining, I don't know, but it was. It really was.
Yeah, the bar was pretty low back then. It was easier to get away with things.
Did I lose you?
No, I don't think so.
Again. Oh, you just came back. Hey,
Yeah.
I don't know if I was talking to Patrick on air or not, but did I tell you I went to the comedy show last night and watched our buddy Mike, our comedian?
How'd that go? I did. You did tell me about that.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Went to the Comedy Zone, and there's like 5. Wednesday is like local night. Jacksonville's finest. You can go. I think you got to go through a little bit of training. They don't just throw you up there. You got to go to a workshop, I think. But it's local.
Oh yeah, that could go bad if they did that.
There was like 5, and our buddy Mike Freed, he was good. He's about the 3rd one, and the headliner, local guy, and I had no idea. I think his name was Wes Johnson. He was a guy in a wheelchair, paralyzed. And of course, I said, "Hey, man, I want you to meet my buddy." And dude, he was funny as hell. He came out in his wheelchair, he was paralyzed, and the majority of his shtick, his set was making fun of himself being in a wheelchair.
Well, yeah, you gotta do the self-deprecating thing.
And he was really funny. He had a good delivery, and he was smooth. And but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it probably wasn't naked golf fun, but it was fun.
All right,
it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. All right, Zach, let's take a break. Come back. I want to reset as we're starting to wind down. A lot of college basketball. I want to reset and give you the big story. The big story. We don't know how big the story is, but Cooper Flagg, maybe the player of the year in college basketball, and we are right on March Madness, the cusp of March Madness. Cooper Flagg, some degree of a sprained ankle. We don't know how serious. Missed the second half of the game today. It looked bad. It appears he will not play the rest of the ACC tournament, however long Duke is in. How big of an injury is that? We'll talk about that as we come back from another break here on the Young Norvelle Show. Come to you live from Sliders Oyster Bar in Neptune Beach.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Ex-Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Ex-Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Ex-Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jax to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jax in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jax 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry. We still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jax 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Hey, back we are on a Thursday, having a good time, talking to some people here, having a wonderful time at the bar, the Oyster Bar, the drink bar, patio, dining area, putting green out front. They normally have a tent open this time of year with music outside Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can't go wrong. Check them out. If you know Sliders, you know. If you don't, you've heard me talk about it. They got a wonderful website. They got a wonderful Facebook page. It's updated. They'll tell you who's playing what music, what genre, people watching. You just can't go wrong. Really, really fun place. One of the institutions down here at the beach. We're in the Neptune Beach area. Sliders Oyster Bar. You can't go wrong, and you won't be disappointed. Zach Rothrock producing, Terry Norvelle. I want to get back to college basketball, kind of catch everybody up on what has happened so far, what is happening, and what will happen tonight and going into the Friday, Saturday, Sunday weekend. Zach, I want to get back to a topic. I didn't get your comment. You were putting out a fire, you said, back in the studio.
Something like that, yeah.
Did you hear? I was just kind of kidding around, but I wonder, could AI help out a little bit with what was that? The heck was that? Please tell me that was. What the heck?
I'll be honest. I thought I had the mic muted when I did that. My bad.
Well, I thought today's show would end with the most gross story, the nudist story, playing golf. I think you just took the honors there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we got to keep things moving.
Hey, do you have anything to tell the viewing audience after that? Like, I'm sorry, excuse me, or sorry? No.
I hope you were impressed. I am. Yeah, excuse me. That was bad. I'll try not to do that.
All right. So I was kidding around today. Had an idea. Just fun. And, seriously, college sports, man, the last 2 years or so, an epidemic of court stormings, field stormings, right? A real epidemic. I mean, it's not good. And flag planting is the newest thing, right? The plant the flag, and somebody gets mad, and this team gets mad. Could AI help, Zach? Could AI? Because the fines aren't helping, right? These schools are paying $100,000 just like that. I mean, Vanderbilt's done it at football and basketball. Here's where I'm at. I'm just messing around here, Zach, but what if it's understood? You tell your and obviously it's court stormings, field storming normally happen at home games where all your fans are there, right?
Yes, by and large.
If you really go out of your way and say, hey, fans, listen, man, we just can't keep stroking $250,000 every time y'all storm the field. $100,000 every time you storm we can't do this. What do we got? We understand you think it's part of it. How about this? How about if we pull the big win and we beat out, we have a huge win. Why don't you just sit where you're at and we'll have our AI department we already have created and we'll play it on the big screen.
A court storming?
We'll create our own court storming, flag planning. Our AI guys will make it. We'll embarrass the other team. We'll say, right? Can we AI it?
I think that could potentially work if we developed like avatar like technology, and you could have like augmented reality people running around on the court, and they could really truly live out their experience. I don't think we're at that level, man. That's crazy.
And I mean, hey, instead of storming the field after the big win, hang tight, look at call you, and you'd have this thing prepared already in case you won, right? And you would have the Gator flag being planted right in the middle of the field, right? But it would be AI. It wouldn't cause a fight.
Yeah, they could do almost like the thing the Carolina Panthers where they had their the big panther on the field. He was like running around, but I don't think the guys in the crowd could see that. I think that was like a video that you can only see on TV at home.
Well, they could figure out a way to get that on.
But they also did the Tupac did the hologram concert. You know what I mean? If he could do that, it feels like they probably could do AI fans.
Yeah.
Right, there's probably a way to make. But here's the thing: I don't know if you can make this happen and produce that for a cheaper price than what the fine would have been.
Okay.
But also, maybe once you make it
there's
once,
the safety part though. Part of the court storming is the safety issue. You don't want
that's a very real thing.
The goalpost clocking the guy in the head, or somebody just going mob mentality and punching somebody. You know?
Yeah,
or the players fighting and getting. The players fighting and getting suspended for the next game.
Yeah, that's a legitimate concern.
I'm on to something. Let's keep it between us. Don't tell anybody. I'm on to something.
The cat's out of the bottle, whatever. You know what I mean?
Genie out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the genie's bottle. What the hell's the cat doing in the genie's bottle in the first place?
I don't know how. Well, curiosity killed the cat.
I guess so.
That's how I got in there.
So. Any guess? I'll give you 100,000 over under on this guess. Numbers have come out. What gambling America thinks will be bet on March Madness this year, with most of the states giving you a legal way to gamble.
Right.
How about any guess at the number? I guess the gross number of what they expect to take in bet-wise, legal betting, this year around March Madness.
Well, let me see. I'm going to try to play in a couple factors here.
It's a big number.
I'm going to say $400 million.
You, even with what I give you, 100,000 one way or the other, over under, you missed it by about $3 billion they think will be bet.
All right. That's a lot. I didn't want to get in the billions. I felt like $1 billion was a lot, but $3 billion?
Well, keep in mind, it's not a one-time one game. It's 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah, that's 3 weeks worth of events.
68. I call
leading up to a big championship, which will probably have a huge amount. Yeah.
It's I call it 64. I don't care about the 4, but think about all those games. You got 64 teams start. It gets knocked down to 32. They play that out. It gets knocked down in half to 16. They play that out. So that's a lot of games over 3 weeks. $3 billion they're expecting.
Yeah, and I can't think of something that's much more random to bet on than college basketball. It's tough. There's so many, the one game series, but I get why you want to do it. I mean, it's fun. That is the definition of a casual better market right there. Vegas, the books, they're going to make a killing off that. I'm sure they do every time.
Degenerate gambling, I think. Degenerate gamblers, what you're talking about.
Degenerate gamblers is when you're betting on Korean baseball at 3 a.m. in 2020 because there's no sports in America during the pandemic.
Hey, it's funny you say that. I'm not much of a gambler. I do have the Hard Rock, and I've played around on it here and there. I haven't made a bet on the Hard Rock in 2 months, probably. I quit in football, kept missing. But I've run into people, you probably have too, that literally they
gotta get it done.
I think they're learning they're just getting started because it's legal now. I've run into a lot of people. They bet on table tennis out of Taiwan. They bet on the most. You're like, what? And they go, well, it's 50. I'm like, man, I think that's crazy.
And they say, look, I don't have a gambling problem. It's just the first thing I think of when I wake up every day and I start shaking until I get a bet in. If I had a problem, I would know. All right.
And just because the top 10 Japanese table tennis players now, you don't have a problem. Everybody knows that, right?
Shakira Niyamoto, he's the GOAT. Yeah.
Yes. But no, I've run into a couple of buddies of mine that hey man, I won last night. I put a bet in on I won a three-player parlay in table. I said, what? Table tennis.
They won't tell you about the 15 nights in a row they lost before that.
That's got to be a coin flip, right? You just flip a coin there, right?
There could be an edge to be gained. There could be an edge there.
Do you do the Hard Rock much at all, Zach?
For football, I did pretty heavily. Now, so a couple weeks ago, when the Lakers, I got one actively for the Lakers to win the championship. When they got Luka, I went ahead and just said, I feel like it's in the stars. I think they're going to win it. So I got one with them. And I also got one for the Pirates to get over, I think, 60 wins. The Pittsburgh Pirates baseball team. So basically, when it's not football season, I look to do more long-term bets that I can track over the course of a season, basically.
That's going to be touch and go, right, for the Pirates?
Well, yeah, my logic is I think they're going to win the majority of Paul Skeens starts, and I don't know, we're just going to try to build from there. Maybe he can help the bullpen out.
You need Skeens to go about 28-4.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what? If the rest of the team can't carry the rest of the load, then gosh darn it. Right.
Yeah, but I feel like I got a pretty decent price on that. We'll see how it goes.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I haven't done a whole lot. I've talked to some guys that and one guy I talked to, he played professional baseball, and his dad played for one of his teams was the Pirates, and this guy that I'm talking to that I work with at another job, he I think he made AAA, but he bets on college baseball. He's been doing well, and I'm trying to remember his philosophy. He said,
bet against Florida in Tuesday games is what I would do if I was betting on college baseball.
It wasn't. He said, stay away from midweek games because it's a crapshoot who pitches. But,
I feel like for Florida, they're going to lose.
I know what it is. Why don't you shut your filthy mouth?
They've lost every Tuesday game for like 2 years.
They just beat Florida State, the only 2 undefeated teams.
That's not a real Tuesday game. That's different. That's a rivalry. I'm talking about when they play against McNeese State or whatever.
He told me, and this will end because you'll have like Florida opens up conference play, the SEC this coming weekend. He said the easiest to win is like the first 3 weeks of college baseball weekend series when not like Florida played Miami in a weekend series, but that's Miami, even though the games took 2 or 3. You catch Florida against Harvard or FSU against Georgetown on the weekend early in the season. Well, they're throwing their good pitchers early to get them a few innings before conference play. So you've got the ace for Florida going against the Rutgers ace or the Georgetown or the Harvard. He said that's like stealing money.
Yeah, it makes sense. I can get behind that because those teams like Harvard, they can't even. It's still winter up there. Like they can't. Like how they like what?
What blows me away about the betting to bet like through Hard Rock. There's got the games have to be on the board. They have to be posted games, right?
Yeah.
Whoever sets all that, they don't just willy-nilly. How are they researching all of the? Because you could bet right now. You could pull up college baseball. Evansville is a whatever favorite over Mount St. Mary's.
Yeah.
How do they research enough to put a legitimate number on the board? Help me with that.
Well, yeah. So that's part of the reason why I say that I think there's an edge to be gained in this like Korean table tennis market, so to speak. It's probably the same thing for this college baseball market, and it's because they don't know. There's not as much information to get. So if you as a bettor can get some type of inside scoop, like you know who the pitcher is going to be, you might can actually get that information before the books know. Whereas in the NFL, when Cooper Kupp has a hamstring injury and he's not going to play, everybody and their grandma knows that. The books know it, you know, like, so it's hard to gain an edge in the NFL because it's too big.
It just blows me away. When JU doesn't have football anymore, but if JU still had their football program, which was non-scholarship, there was one conference in America that was non-scholarship football. JU was in it. The University, not San Diego State, University of San Diego, where Jim Harbaugh got his start coaching. He was in that right?
Yeah.
Like if JU was still playing non-scholarship football today and they had a game, you could find that game posted on Hard Rock. It would be JU versus Drake in non-scholarship. But before that, they wouldn't just throw a number. They would have to have some type of research. How do they get that deep, that many games, that many teams to put a legitimate number out there? I don't know.
That's why I said I don't think the handicap is nearly as accurate as it is for like the NFL. I think there is an edge to be gained there. If you did, like if you knew JU's roster that well, you probably could consistently beat the book on their games.
Yeah, because you would think maybe maybe it's just a numbers game, no pun intended. They just say, hey, those games won't be a lot. And they get juice right on everything.
Right. Whereas, but you could really put your nose to the grindstone. You can know everything there is to know about the Jaguars, and when they play the Colts, you can know everything about the Colts. But there's no edge to be gained because the books is going to bake that into the odds.
That guy that was telling me about college baseball, it may behoove you to bet things like that where all the information is not out there, especially if your brother, if your brother was the starting shortstop for Evansville baseball, nobody knows about him other than and they were playing Rutgers, and you called your brother and said, well, from what our scouting report, Rutgers isn't any good. We're probably going to win.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That might be the game to go to more than the Phillies and the Braves.
100% it is. But then on the flip side of that, if you night after night are winning $10,000 on McNeese State baseball games, eventually Hard Rock is going to find you, and they're going to start hitting your kneecaps with baseball bats.
Somebody's will knock on your door.
Yeah,
somebody's knocking on the door.
They're going to say, what do you know about this baseball program? How are you betting right on their games every single night? You get NBA games wrong all the time. How are you getting these right?
Yeah. Well, a lot of if you've noticed, and this is just coming with the territory of legalized gambling, it's just going to bring some stuff. I bet you not a week goes by that you don't see a headline, and it's small schools. It'll say Morehead State basketball being investigated for a string of 3 weeks of basketball bets that came in, looked squirrely, and they play in some little. And they're looking at and that's going to come with the territory, right? But those smaller schools, I think, they pop up all the time getting looked at.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's going to, by and large, it's going to be the fringe players that are going to be the ones that are going to be caught with that.
The player at Morehead State doesn't have an NIL deal. That guy's living hamburger to hamburger, right?
Yeah, and he's probably not going to make it. Yeah, he's not going to make it to the professionals either. He's got to get what he can while he can.
Yeah, and how tempting, even though it's totally illegal, how tempting. That guy I just referenced, his teammate buddy, they start talking, and they go, hey, don't you know Joe Schmidt, who's the guard for the other team we're about to play? Hey, why don't you call him up? Let's get him on. Hey, why don't we it looks like we're getting 8 points. You know what I mean? I can see small school guys looking to make a few dollars, trying to coerce together than big school players. Not that big school players won't do it. I can see the small school guys.
100%. I'm sure it's happening, and it's just not getting reported. I bet there's cases of it everywhere. Just like, for example, he was a French NBA player, Jonte Porter, last year. It was a story that came out in July. Yeah, exactly. Where he was basically telling guys to bet the over on his shot attempt props because he was like, if I'm getting in, I'm putting up shots. Yeah,
that's a little bit of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and so that same type of thing.
I think the gambling houses, though, they probably just build all that kind of stuff in. I think in the retail business, there's a phrase, and don't laugh. It's called shrinkage, meaning some of your inventory is just going to disappear. It's going to get broken. It's going to get sent back. There's going to be theft. There's going to be employee theft, right? And you just build in, well, there's going to be, for every inventory we bring in, we can't count 100% did we sell it or not. We can count 95% because there's always going to be shrinkage.
Yeah.
Maybe that. Yeah, I'm sure they build all that in.
Yeah, but you can only do it so far though, because if you start to widen the odds, the professionals that look for stuff, they're going to jump on that, and then they're going to
jump on that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then they're going to kill the books that way.
And is there a way? Two small Division III baseball, college baseball, if they're on the board, will that payout be less than Florida playing Tennessee on the board baseball?
I mean, if it's minus 150, yeah, as long as the odds are the same, the payout's the same. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Now there could be so like on something like college baseball, there's probably a limit on the max bet you can place, and that max bet it might be 10,000, it might be 100,000.
That's covering the rest too.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas like a sport like the NFL is more, I don't know if it's uncapped, but the cap is way larger.
Way bigger. All right, as we get a break, we'll come back, wrap up, get back into golf, and we'll walk through the ACC and the SEC, particularly basketball scores. Catch up on the golf as well, and we'll get out of here. Before we do that, do you think tonight, if I go home and do a little research, I could find some odds? I could place a bet on that nude golfing we were talking about earlier? That nude golf out of France? They're on the board? Are they on the board?
I haven't seen that anywhere, no.
Some things you can't even unsee in your mind.
Right.
All right, Zach, let's take a final break. We'll come back, kind of wrap things up on a gorgeous Thursday. The Young Norvelle Show. Of course, if it's Thursday, we're a Thursday home. We love it. You should check it out. If you know, you know. If you don't, get by Sliders Oyster Bar, featuring Safe Harbor Seafood.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Ex-Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Ex-Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Ex-Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store, either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms, from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who's coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.
Okay, folks, let's start wrapping things up. About 10 minutes left here on a fun Thursday. Join us again tomorrow. If you're kind of new to the show, we're here every weekday, 4 to 6, and we do it Monday through Friday. We'd love to have you become a new regular if you're just finding us. Thank you so very much. All right, we had Patrick Young. Want to thank Patrick. Want to, of course, thank Zach Rothrock producing, as always. Let's take a kind of a final lap around kind of the big sports stories today that will lead most of them into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. At the players. Okay, let's take a look at the scoreboard now. Your leader in the clubhouse. Earlier today, Lucas Glover went off. He had a spectacular round of 66. He is in the clubhouse. Your leader right now, and I'm going to go the other leaderboard names that are in the clubhouse, and then we'll talk about some people that can make serious moves if they hold their round. Okay, so Lucas Glover in the clubhouse leading the Players' Championship with a 66, ready to go tomorrow. You've got a group of 4 players that are also in the clubhouse. They have carded 68, so they're 2 shots back. Alex Smalley, you've got Steven Yeager, Aaron Rye, if I'm pronouncing that right, and Bud Cawley. Those 4 are in at 68. Now, you've got a couple guys on the course that could threaten Lucas Glover. You've got Camilo Villegas, 6 under. He's same 6 under as Glover. Villegas is through 14, so he's still got some golf left, but he could go lower than 66. Track him. JJ Spawn is also on the course right now. He's got 1 hole left. He's through 17, 5 under. So he could tie or do something crazy on 18 and go ahead. Min Woo Lee is also still on the course through 16. He also is 5 under. So he's got 17 and 18 to play. So there are some guys that are still on the course that could threaten to tie or even top with a 65 or more, or less, I should say, Lucas Glover. But Lucas Glover, the American, is leading through about 3/4 of the first round completed, and then certainly you tick it down. I'm trying to figure out, I was not out at the course today, but I'm going to go to the very opposite end of the leaderboard as I can scroll down. And I did this earlier. I don't think anybody's topped it, but let me see. And I don't mean to bring up this name disparagingly, but Victor Hovland, that's a name if you're a golf fan. You know Victor Hovland. He has so far, and it looks like it'll hold, he has the high score of the day, 80. He is in at a plus 880. So he had a tough round. What that tells me, though, and you would imagine just by if you're on the first coast looking outside, that tells me that it was a good scoring day. I get it, these are some of the best players in the world, but a lot of times the low score, particularly the first round guys are going to get cut. That thing sometimes is 82, 83, 84. Your low score, and that looked like the only one in the 80s. That tells me it really played well, and it's nowhere near as windy as it was a week ago. So I don't think it was terrible on the golfers. Tomorrow and Saturday are supposed to be pretty good weather days as well. Sunday it gets a little iffy, and it looks like Sunday, the second half of the final round, when the best players will still be on the course, really fighting it out. It looks like it may be a weather afternoon on Sunday, so we'll track that as we go. Now that's your golf update. Let's get back to college basketball. Okay, some finals today, and we'll kind of look at the major games that we follow, the ACC and the SEC. Duke, noon tip. The Blue Devils win in a tight game. They defeat Georgia Tech today, 78-70. Duke will move on tomorrow to play North Carolina. Did they close out that game? I think they did. Let me make sure. But that's only part of the story for North Carolina and Duke. North Carolina and Duke just played Saturday. Duke moves on. Duke, they're going to be a 1 seed. The issue is Cooper Flagg went down with, we're not sure what level, what degree of sprained ankle. It looked bad. He went up for a rebound, came down and really sprained his left ankle. Came out of the game, did not return. At one point in the arena, he was being pushed around in a wheelchair. That's probably the big story in sports right now, the severity. How injured is Cooper Flagg? The headline on the ESPN homepage, the first headline says, Flagg, long shot for ACC semis after ankle injury, which tells you if you're Duke, you're going to shut him down. Do you want to win the SEC championship? Certainly you do. It's nice to put another trophy in the case. Duke's done their heavy lifting. Duke is going to be a 1 seed no matter what happens tomorrow and or Saturday in the ACC. But we've seen players this year. Hell, Florida has gone through a lot of injuries this year. A lot of injuries, and a couple of them were ankles. Alex Condon missed 4 games, and it took him a full game to get back up to speed. Now, I think Duke's in a good position if they're going to hold Flagg out. They could hold him out all the way from today, this afternoon, all the way through either next Thursday or Friday. I think he could sit out wherever Duke is sent to, and we don't know, are they going to play next Thursday or Friday? We won't know that till Sunday. But Duke's going to play a 16 seed. I think Duke could even hold him out from their first round game, either Thursday or Friday of next week, and that would buy him a couple of more days. My best guess, and I saw it happen live, and I've seen it a million times, it looked pretty nasty. He did hobble himself with a little bit of help off the court, sat on the Duke bench, then went under, and at one point he was being wheeled around in a wheelchair. So, big story out of college basketball. I'm trying to make sure that, get to this real quick, that North Carolina went ahead and held on. They were up big, and yeah, there they go. 68-59, North Carolina wins. 2 in a row for Carolina. They may need one more, but boy, they play Duke next. It'll be Duke, North Carolina, round 3. Hasn't been much of a match. A big game out of the South, BYU, a nice win. 17th ranked BYU got by 12th ranked Iowa State, 96-92. In the SEC, Ole Miss in the first game today, the Rebels win 83-80 on a buzzer-beating 3-pointer that Ole Miss hit. They knocked Arkansas out. I think Arkansas is okay. Ole Miss, with their win, they will move on tomorrow to play Auburn. Now, the other SEC game going on right now, where is it? Getting late. 5:13 remaining, second half. Texas, desperate for another win. They are leading Texas A&M 65-60 with just about 5 minutes left. That winner moves on to play Tennessee. Texas really needs that win much more than A&M. A&M's in comfortably. Texas needs at least one more. So winner moves on to play Tennessee tomorrow. Mississippi State will play Missouri tonight, 7 o'clock game, the night session. Winner between Mississippi State and Missouri will face Florida tomorrow, Friday, 7 o'clock tip. And then the late game tonight, Oklahoma, who knocked out Georgia last night in a hell of a second-half comeback. Oklahoma will take on Kentucky tonight, the late game in Nashville, with that winner moving on to play Alabama tomorrow in the late night game of the SEC, the quarterfinals on Friday. So that should catch you up pretty much on college basketball, particularly around here. The story, though, is Duke. And how severe is that ankle injury? And if Flagg misses a lot of time, how rusty will he be? Not so much the first round of the NCAA tournament. I don't think he'll play. If he's even mildly injured, I don't think he'll play in that first round. How rusty would he be? You would want your best players in round two. In round two, when it gets down to 32, when you're trying to get into the Sweet 16, and Duke being a 1, they should win their first game. They'll play a 16. Remember, when you're a 1 seed, your second game, if I remember this right, and Zach, you may can help me, the number 1 seeds, their second game is between the 8-9 winner. I think that's how it falls. The 8-9 winner.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So any team 8-9 is going to be a legitimate threat, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, typically those are the ones that are most likely to pull off the upsets.
Yeah, the 8-9, the 5-12. But yeah, the 1 seed, they'll play a 16. If they win, the 1 seed, which should be Duke, will play an 8-9 winner, and that should be that's one you don't hold Flagg. If he can go, he goes. But I would definitely, again, I'm not a doctor. I saw it happen live, and I've seen it a million times now. Flags. That was a good. I mean, I don't know what that bone is that we all have that pokes out in our ankle. That thing came close to touch that nub bone, whatever you want to call it. That came close to touching. It was a nasty sprain to the eye. I don't know how bad it was, but we'll see. Certainly the story of today in sports and, of course, in March Madness. All right, that'll wrap it up. Had a fun show. I want to thank Patrick Young again and, of course, Zach Rothrock, as I said earlier, for producing. We'll get back together tomorrow. Another just fun day of overlapping sports. Golf, the players will start heating up. We'll have the cut tomorrow. Round 2 should be good weather. March Madness continues. Basketball all day and night tomorrow, including the Gators getting started in the SEC tournament tomorrow at 7. That'll wrap it up. Hope you enjoyed it. I know we enjoyed bringing it to you. We want to thank the good folks at Sliders Oyster Bar for hosting us every Thursday. Until tomorrow, we'll get back together 4 o'clock for the next edition of the Young Norvelle Show. Have a great rest of your Thursday, everybody.
For those dealing with pain from a sports injury, arthritis, or spine condition, Southeast Orthopedic Specialists offers innovative new non-surgical options. Our regenerative medicine treatments, including platelet-rich plasma and other regenerative treatments, use your body's own restorative cells to aid in treating injuries. These procedures are performed in our offices and typically require minimal downtime. If you want to get back to doing what you love, our regenerative treatment options may be right for you. For more information or to schedule an appointment online, visit our website.
Finally, a family atmosphere, kid-friendly restaurant with a real sports bar feel. Ex-Jags Beach features all of that and a large, climate-controlled covered patio with misting fans and heaters for all seasons. Mix in an extremely diverse menu that features the most quality and affordable steak at the beach, and there's no reason not to enjoy your next lunch, dinner, happy hour, or big sporting event at Ex-Jags Beach, 300 2nd Street North in Jacksonville Beach. See you at Ex-Jags Beach.
You really got to hand it to him. Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Hurricane Grill and Wings for the football season. Well, there he is. Oh, what is that?
Hey everyone, Olivia Tasley here from Action Sports Jacks to tell you all the different ways you can watch our new 24/7 network. 3 easy steps. You don't even need a pen and paper to write it down. Step number 1, download the app. Search Action News Jacks in your app store either on your phone or your smart TV. Then, once you're on the app, click on that little drop-down menu in the upper left-hand corner with the 3 little lines. That'll show you these options, and boom, right here, click Action Sports Jacks 24/7, and you will be brought to our continuous stream channel. That app can be accessed through all these different platforms, whether you have Roku, Fire TV, Smart TV, Apple TV, or Google TV. You can find our app. Now, if you don't have access to the app, don't worry, we still got you covered. We're across all social media platforms from Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Twitch. We have a podcast channel. Plus, check out our short reels on our TikTok. Action Sports Jacks 24/7. It's on all the time and everywhere.
It's a new logo, new branding. With Bold City Heating and Air, it's an old school approach. One of the few locally owned and operated air conditioning businesses left in Jacksonville.
It's hot, Florida in the summer. You can't do much to avoid it, but you can keep cool with Bold City Heating and Air.
It's every customer counts kind of service, from when these trucks have pulled up to my home over the last couple of years and when they pull into your driveway as well. From communication to pricing to the actual service, everyone at Bold City Heating and Air cares about you. You know who is coming to your house. You know they will be well trained, and they will respect your home. Air conditioning convenience at boldcityac.com.
Stay cool while it gets hot. Bold City Heating and Air can help. Don't get caught sweating all summer. boldcityac.com, and they have financing to help. New systems starting at $110 a month and $50 off any repairs.
Stay safe, stay comfortable with Bold City Heating and Air at boldcityac.com. Homegrown in your hometown.